Why does Cinderella run away from him?
Mm,
I mean, you
I
could
don't
say
know,
it's
like,
simply part of the game between men and women of sort of playing hard to get or being pursued or something like that. That might be part of it. There might be
mm,
this might be like she needs to preserve her dignity because she showed up, and that is in a way putting herself out there, which may be a little bit like she wanted to preserve her innocent dignity and like
mm,
run away and still be sought after by the prince instead of like do all
mm,
the work to get together with him.
mm,
And she does do a lot of work to get away from him, even going into the pigeon house and going up into the pear tree. And then in the third time, running away so quick after the ball that he wouldn't have gotten to her if he had not used the stratagem of having the stairs covered with the pitch.
mm,
But what if he had not done that stratagem? Like he wouldn't have found her, right?
mm,
But maybe he wouldn't be worthy of her hand if if he so it shows that he has wits, and so maybe it's like, yeah, his intelligence is somehow matched with her virtue.
mm,
Yeah, because otherwise would he have looked very good in the story if he doesn't have wits, and he only has those wits after like two times of sort of being fooled. But otherwise, like he's just a prince. He's sought after, but I mean, I don't know if any other sort of strengths of his are mentioned character traits,
mm,
but he at least has that. He has to be told, he can't tell. He has to be told that the stepsisters are not the woman that he sought after. And even
mm,
he can't tell Cinderella is until she puts on the shoe and then his eyes are opened. But then again, I think that's more a key to the story. The fact that when the shoe fits, it's like everything changes in his perception and
mm,
maybe everybody's perception. Because it had mentioned that before she came to try the slipper on, she had washed her hands and her face. So
mm.
you would think he could recognize her from that, but no, he did not. She had to put on the slipper first, and then he recognized her. But what do you think that means?
Mm. I don't know, maybe it's kind of showing like how sometimes people may not be able to recognize virtue at first until like
Until the
uh
accoutrements of virtue are shown to them.
yeah, um
Yeah, because the slipper is related to her piety and her
mm,
grieving and her faith.
mm,
And also, it's just sort of a sign of the sort of her grace from sort of heaven, right? The
mm,
grace given to her,
mm,
not necessarily earned.
mm. Yeah, so maybe it's just kind of showing more his development in a way. Uh,
He's been fooled twice, but
mhm,
you know, now he's sort of. One thing I wanted to point out about, I was trying to suss out maybe the character traits of the prince. Haven't figured out that much, but one thing that distinguishes Cinderella from the daughters also is her work. Like she works. She's working in the kitchen. She's covered in the ashes, and also she has to work after she asked her stepmother to go to the ball. Now it's kind of pointless work, but she does like work, although the pigeons and the turtle doves and all the like birds of the sky like do the work for her. But that's something that distinguishes her from the stepdaughters, I think, who do
mhm,
no work, who only sort of, if we think of this as like mate competition, the way that they try to win a mate is by putting their competition down, by increasing their adornment, but not necessarily their character or anything like that.
Mm,
And later by deforming themselves, which you could look at as kind of a sacrifice, though, but it's still linked to deception.
mm,
And later on, they also tried to wheedle themselves into the good graces of their former stepsis, their stepsister, now the sort of princess or
mhm.
queen. And yeah, that doesn't turn out too well for them. But yeah,
Yeah.
Cinderella is the one that has the virtues and does the work and has the faith, and she's the one that sort of wins the mate competition.